I'm sorry. This is Elaine Brown, former chairperson of the Black Panther Party, and also she wants to speak in her own name and her own voice, so can I turn the mic over to her now?
I just want to say that I'm with SEIU, United Healthcare Workers, 150,000 workers in the state of California, and we are also in solidarity with Occupy Oakland, and we'll be marching too, just like every other union, every other worker, and we're calling for our workers to take the same action as all the others. I just wanted to add our name to that because I work for that union. Thank you very much.
I only want to speak about one of them. I just want to make clear first that our 5 p.m. march is 5 p.m. sharp. So all of you who are coming down to be part of that, you know, we have all day activities, but be here at 5 p.m. because we're going to the court and shutting it down. And as far as his question, we're going to have thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people. And to me, and that's Oakland deciding democratically that we want to shut the court down, and I am assuming that the police will not stop democracy. Let me talk about that.
I wanted to answer your question when you asked about the different areas. The system is not just corrupt in one area. The system is corrupt across the board. The areas that have been chosen are the places where that corruption is the most egregious and are impacting the most people, and have been historically for a very long time, and are the areas that are impacting historically the most oppressed people and communities of our neighborhoods. So, yeah.
What's the question over there?
And that's a part of the problem. The state funding of the public education system is the deficit, right? Not the actual budget cuts and the money that they're trying to take out. And so we're having a multi-pronged approach because the negative impacts of capitalism are multi-pronged, right? We need to hit the 5th largest port in the world. Where we hit them with the money is where we're going to hit them with redistribution of power, right? And so we need to hit them there. We need to hit them where they're taking advantage of us in the banks. We need to be able to use our own voices as students, as teachers, right, to be able to exercise our right to assemble.
Do you see? Do you see this movement growing into a movement that actually takes back homes that have been taken away from people?
I would be very happy about that. Yes.
Can anybody else speak to that?
Just one other quick comment about the actions of the day. I mean, there's been 3 calls for convergences: 9 a.m., 12 noon, 5 p.m. Occupy Oakland is trying its hardest to make the general strike and day of action accessible to as many different workers and community members as possible. We understand not everyone can take off the whole day. We understand not all students can walk out. We're hoping for as much participation as possible, and thus far we're really encouraged by the amazing amount of support and commitments we've gotten from people. But to keep that in mind, there'll be 3 major convergences at 14th and Broadway, the site of the police violence on last Tuesday. That's going to be where we're going to be mobilizing. There'll be political speakers all day long. Also in the amphitheater of Oscar Grant Plaza, there will be music, entertainment, arts, culture all day long, and we should expect a very festive atmosphere in downtown. We've had lots of confirmations from different bands, marching bands, DJs. People will have different sound systems. There'll be bike rides. There'll be street parties. It's going to be, yeah. So we'll have 2 large stages at Oscar Grant Plaza. So.
Wasn't there a march also?
And yeah, there's also at 2 p.m. there's an anti-capitalist march that's been planned. One thing to keep in mind about this general strike is that the initial call is coming from Occupy Oakland. The stuff that's in the press packet, the stuff that's on occupyoakland.org/strike, those are the things that the Occupy Oakland strike assembly has officially decided upon. But we're encouraging other groups to take autonomous action. There's many different groups that are going to come out here. We're not asking that every single one of those actions goes through the strike assembly. We understand there's a diversity of voices, there's a diversity of constituencies that are going to be coming out here on Wednesday, and so we want people to take this into their own hands, decide how they're going to approach the strike and the day of action. And so one of those actions will be a 2 p.m. anti-capitalist march starting at right here at Telegraph and Broadway.
Yeah, on that point, I just want to say that this movement strongly believes in self-organization and the reproduction of self-organization. One of the ways people discuss how to organize on the 2nd was part of these sub-movements believing that if libraries were going to get closed down, we're going to occupy those libraries and reopen them. If schools are going to get closed down, we're going to occupy those schools and reopen them, hence the name Occupy Oakland. Thank you.
I also would like to reiterate that this is a leaderless movement. So part of what that means is that there's going to be autonomous actions happening everywhere. And not only do we encourage this to happen as Occupy Oakland, but we actually feel like that is a strength of our movement. So again, we of the things that we know about, and we're sure that more is going to come together in like the next few days. There is an anti-capitalist march that is coming from this location right here at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Also, there's a Feminists and Queers Against Capitalism block within the march that's going to the port as well. And so all these things are going to be happening. The more the better. We encourage as much as possible. Well, I mean, this is what the media continues to really want to hear, that one thing that we want. But again, you know, like capitalism is hitting different people in different places. We all have really different experiences of like how our lives are falling apart due to this economic system. So it's going to be different for different people. And, you know, for some people it's going to be merely like you aren't alienated in your house, like, you know, just simply watching the world go by on television. You're in the streets with people you never met before and you find power there. Other people, it might be more specific of we shut down the ports. You know, I think it'd be great if the other speakers want to speak to this as well, but I think the key is there is no one answer. We're looking for a lot of things.
I have a small retail business on Telegraph Avenue, and I am closing my shop on Wednesday in solidarity with Occupy Oakland. My employees and I will all be coming down here. We've been handing out leaflets and flyers from helping people to spread the word from the back room. The name of my shop is Ancient Ways on Telegraph near MacArthur Bar. And so many of the people that come into my shop are losing homes, have lost jobs. We see and hear everything from everybody. And so many people have taken flyers, our customers have taken flyers out into the community. They are in support of us closing. And there is so many things wrong with the system. There cannot be one demand. There's 101 demands. I think we should have a list of 1,000 demands, 10,000 demands. Everyone send in your millions of demands. What are all the broken things about this system? We could all name 100. I suggest that we start that list soon. I'm in solidarity with Occupy Oakland. I'm going to be here for the long, long road that we have ahead. Thanks. My name is Glenn, Glenn Turner. Shop is Ancient Ways.
I just want to add one thing. We all have various grievances, various campaigns we're working on, but there is one thing that we all agree with, that it's a problem with the system, that the 1% is taking all the wealth and the rest of the 99% are fighting for crumbs, and a general strike is a way that we make that idea real, that we take back that wealth, at least for that one day, just to show that we can do it, and later on we'll move from there.
Okay, again, I want to thank everyone for coming here, and just a last point, just to reiterate, we're standing here at the intersection of Telegraph and Broadway. This was the last place in the United States that was a general strike, right here in 1946. On Wednesday, Oakland is going to make history once again. We're going to show the world what's possible right now. We're going to show the world where this Occupy movement can go. We're going to take this power that's been brewing in the plazas, in the squares, in the parks over the past month and a half that started on Wall Street. And we're going to show that this can go into the workplaces, into the